Hey there folks, Chuck here, and I'm here with my buddy and fellow patron, Drew Allen, also known as DrewPlaysDrums. So be sure to follow him on YouTube, give him a subscribe, tell him I sent you. We're on our way to Webster, to a giant flea market where I've been told from other diecast dealers there are many a deal to be had, and there's some guy with some secret stash of diecast cars, so we're going to go and see if we can find him. Drew's along for the ride, just to kind of experience the flea market scene, and thought I'd bring you along. So this is a rare face reveal for me, and a opportunity for you to kind of see me in action. I don't usually do this sort of thing, but I thought it's a special occasion. It's Memorial Day. It is apparently one of the biggest days of the year at this flea market for some reason. So we're going to go see what all the fuss is about. So join me, won't you, on this fun journey through tiny car finds.
And hey, while you're taking in the sights and sounds of the Webster Swap-O-Rama, thought I'd lay down some of my best tips and tricks for finding the best deals and making the most of your time at your local flea market. First and foremost, cash is king. Almost no booths will take digital payments, although I've noticed that's starting to change. There's some people with Venmo and Square for taking credit cards, but generally speaking, you're going to have a much better time if you have cash already in hand. There's almost always ATMs on site, but get ready for some ridiculous fees. So the smart thing to do is the day before or the morning that you're headed out, hit your local bank, get some cash out of your account that way, so you don't have to pay an extra $2 or $3 that you could be spending on cars on a ridiculous ATM fee. Also, like gambling, only bring as much as you're willing to lose, and pretend that's all the money you have. The ATMs do not exist. Next tip, bring a bag, or 3. Many vendors will offer you plastic bags, but they're usually questionable at best. They've been folded up many times, they're probably several months old, and they're always tissue paper thin. Especially if you're buying stuff that you're not planning to customize and you want it in as good as condition as possible, bring some cloth, handkerchiefs, towels, stuff like that, to put in your bag to protect your cars. Also, always wear a hat, sunscreen, or preferably both. Even if the flea market is under coverage most of the time, there's a lot of gap between the pavilions. You'll be out and about, eating, walking around, talking to people, and you're still going to get a decent sunburn if you aren't careful. And remember, skin cancer is way more expensive than tiny cars. Also, bring a water bottle. A lot of flea markets do offer some form of water fountain, but most don't. A packed water bottle is an extra 2 to 5 cars in your budget rather than spending it on a beverage at the flea market. And most allow outside food and drinks, so bring a snack bar as well. Remember to hydrate frequently. You're going to think a lot clearer, and it'll improve your ability to process the visual onslaught of a flea market. It is a lot of sensory overload by design, so you want to be sure that you have a clear head for better negotiating and the ability to find stuff that may be hidden just below the surface. Speaking of negotiating, everything is negotiable. Firm does not mean firm. Even if it does, use a firm item to bring down the cost of other items in that booth that you'd like to buy. Say, well, I know you won't take any less than $10 for this car, but can you come down a little on this one if I buy both? Look for the booths that have a lot of the things you're looking for and visit them first. Before you pick anything up, ask if there's any bundle deals or bulk discounts. You'll be surprised how quickly the prices drop once they find that you want to buy multiples. As much as they want to make a buck, they also want to take back with them as little as possible. So if you come in there saying you're going to buy a bunch of stuff, they're going to be much more willing to negotiate with you. Also, ask them if they have any more. Several times I've been surprised to find that they have several boxes of diecasts in their van or underneath the table that they just haven't gone through yet, and more often than not, they'll let you go through them. Remember to be polite, but keep a poker face. The more excited you are about something, the more they think they'll be able to get out of you. So, save the touchdown dance for when you get back home. Remember to pace yourself. Show up early, take regular breaks, rest your eyes. It's a lot to take in. And I often find after I've been to the flea market, even if I close my eyes, I'm seeing colors and shapes that look like flea market booths. So, remember to take frequent breaks, go back to your car, drop stuff off, take a nap if you need to in the shade. Remember, if you have time, go right when they open, because you'll get good deals right when they open, because they're eager to start breaking the sales barrier, and swing by your favorite booths again towards the end of market hours for the stuff that you saw that you liked but you could live without. They'll often be more willing to make a deal on that stuff, especially if they remember you buying from them before. And finally, go often. As you get to know the vendors, sometimes you'll get inside info on what they're dealing with, who they're finding stuff from. You might even swap phone numbers or be able to provide them with a list of what you're looking for. And this is especially handy if you're a customizer and the stuff that you're looking for, most collectors might find a little bit too play-worn to be of value. Once you break the ice with the vendor, they'll usually be happy to work with you because they know they have a guaranteed buyer. Plus, you might make a new friend. Do you have any flea market shopping advice? Be sure to leave it in the comments below to help out my other viewers. And while you're down there, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Well, that was quite the adventure. Got a lot of good finds. I just finished up the last of my budget with these 4 premiums, some Johnny Lightning and a couple of Hot Wheels. So, gonna wrap things up here, head back to Gainesville, and we'll go through and we'll see what we find. All right, so that was the flea market. Drew, your thoughts?
It was hot.
It was hot.
It was hot.
It was very hot. It was Florida. It was Central Florida in almost June. So yeah, it was an experience. There was a lot of diecasts there. I met some really nice people. There was Denny. I'm going to leave his info in the comments, or I probably am going to have it when I show his stuff. And there was English Dan or English Dave. Anyway, sorry if I butcher your name, English guy. He had a lot of Lesnies and a lot of really cool Matchbox stuff. And so I'll make sure to, if I get more of his info, I'll list that. But yeah, if you're in the Central Florida area, this is definitely worth your time. Definitely worth checking out. A lot of great deals to be had. I'm gonna throw back to the home base and we're gonna go through and I'll show you what I found. But anyway, that was our experience. Thanks for joining us so far. Please stick around for the unveiling of what I found. All right, we're back. So let's see what we got here. There's a lot of great finds out there today. Again, big thanks to Drew for driving. And please check out his channel up here and in the description below. Drew's a good dude, and appreciate him as a friend and a patron. So, got a London cab from Matchbox. This is a pretty late model, but it's still pretty cool. This is an older Matchbox. It's from the Made in Macau days in the 80s. The BMW 3 Series Cabriolet. I've got some of this one, but not in this nice a shape. This one is definitely in rough shape. I found a fair amount of Lesnies, it's always hard for me to say, for good prices, and in restorable if rough shape, kind of like this one. But, you know, a little brake fluid will probably get this paint loosened up, and it looks like the plastic's all intact into there, and the little driver guy's still there. So kind of a cool old Galaxy, and even the nub still looks there. It's pushed down, but we'll see. I found a few of these. These are old Ertl stock cars. Just kind of fun. I like this old era of NASCAR. Let's see. This is cool. Majorette Renault 11. It's got a closing sunroof on it. The yellow glass isn't great, but hey, you know. The price was right on a lot of these, and you know, as you saw in the video, most of these that you see are from that tarp where that guy just threw out a tarp. It's just like 50 cents a car. This one's interesting. This is a lockup from Kidco. So these cars would come with keys, and when the key was engaged, it would lock the wheels on these little gears and lock the doors, so the doors wouldn't open. But fortunately, whoever owned this last, after crushing it, left it unlocked, so you can actually access everything. So, not sure what I can do with this one because it's so banged up, but, you know, it's an 80s era Z28, and just a fun car to have. This is that Ford Vicky. So, price was right on this one, so I picked it up as a backup car. Olds 442. Hot Wheels. This is 90s era, I believe. Yeah, 93. And it's copyright Warner. So I don't know if that's because this is based on the Demolition Man car or what, but this is one of my favorite castings, both as a kid and as a grown-up, because I just love old Ford LTDs. And
I like the one that has the red and blue lights on it. So it's kind of a weird color to it. I don't know if this was a color changer or what, but it's an odd color choice. This was cool. It was $1 because it's missing the front grille, but as you know, for me, that means very little. And for $1 with, you know, just the wheels alone make it worthwhile. Interesting 58 Impala. Another favorite of mine, the Mercury Sable wagon with the rear thing still intact, the rear trunk. There's another one of those hurdles. This is cool. This is that one that I just got from Flea that was done up as a Gaslands car. So it's nice to have a stock version of it, so I can find something fun to do with it. An old Silver Shadow. Again, made in England. This is one of the later ones, I believe, just because of the way the wheels and stuff look. But very cool find. This is a no-name, which is interesting because it's actually pretty well done. The Nissan GTP metal car. So curious about that one. If anyone knows in the comments, please let me know. Let's see. This is another favorite of mine. Very Malaysia 1984 Dodge Daytona from Matchbox with the opening hood. And in really good shape, too. It was a nice find. Here's another cool one. This is an old Leslie Matchbox Ford Zodiac Mark IV. Open the hood, and you still got the spare tire in there and the little engine. Very cool little casting. Excited to finally cross that one off the list. This is another favorite of mine, the Matchbox Superfast, made in Macau era. You know, late 70s GM, the Pepsi Challenger livery. I finally found one intact. This is the... Wait, no. This isn't the one I'm looking for. Oh, well, it's still cool. VW thing. This is the Matchbox one. I was looking for the Hot Wheels one, and I was so excited I found it, and I was just like, I'll buy it. And then, well, oh well. It was still like 50 cents, so... There's another one of those hurdles. I think there's 3 in total. Here. This one was kind of cool. I thought it was a... Tomy at first, but or Tamika, but it's a real toy, and it's a Ford Galaxy, so kind of like a late 90s, early 2000s mini. It's not a minivan, but almost like a proto crossover. This is cool. Kidco, Camaro, the opening hood. This one's kind of cool. This is an early Blackwall. This is the Z-Wiz from Hot Wheels, 1975. So, very early Blackwall era metal car. And I think a pretty decent representation of the 240. So, this is a little bit of a smushed one, but it is the Yacht Ming with the doors, and I've got some Yacht Mings without the doors that aren't smushed, so put them together and make one car. But it's a metal car, so it's got the nice metal base. This was a nice find for $1. I don't think they realized what they had. This is made in England, 1971, super fast. And it's all there, like all the little plastic pieces, the engine. So that was a really nice find. Got another one of these, the Cheezosaurus Rex version of the Nissan Hardbody. I think I need to stop buying this one because I've got 4 or 5 now, but you know, for a while there it felt like these were very hard to find, and now I can't stop finding them. This one's cool. This is the Ford Thunderbird from Hot Wheels. I don't know much about this casting. It's a strange one. I almost feel like this was made by somebody else and they licensed it, just because it's got the weird raised body lines where they usually would do indented body lines. And it has an opening hood and a little chrome detail in there and a detailed steering wheel, which are all very non-Hot Wheels-y things. The wheels are also wrong for Hot Wheels, which I think is odd. So, this is cool. This one was a majorette Toyota RAV4 from early RAV4. And it's a cool find. This is the Matchbox Mercury. This is an old design that I guess survived into the 80s because this is the Halley's Comet. I had the I believe it was the Corvette. It was a Corvette or a Camaro that had the same design, but 1985, 1986 Halley's Comet returned, and they brought out that old casting. This is the Johnny Lightning Custom Continental, and it has an opening hood, but it doesn't want to open. But this was a buck, which I thought was kind of a nice find for, kind of a weird crossover era of the Playing Mantis cars. 1995, this was about when they started getting decent. Matchbox 57 Chevy. Hood's missing, but the engine's good for customizing. This little guy keeps losing his hood, but it's another nice Britain era Opel Diplomat, and it's all there, I think. What's weird is the inside seems shattered, like it's all broken up in there. So, like, pieces keep falling out. I don't know why or how that happened. It's like the inside shattered. So, again, not a big deal with my kind of builds. This is another one. It's one I already have, but it's a cool one, and it's, for the kind of car that it is, it's nice to have two, so I could do like a set or do some kind of scene with two cars. That old modified racer look. Let's see. Saving some of the better ones for later. 39 Chevy sedan. This is a Matchbox. It's got the rubber tires. It's a little big. It's interesting. It was probably a promotional vehicle for something. But again, the guy wanted $1 for it. I was like, okay, I'll pay $1 for that. Another beer one. This one's talks about some kind of thing in, I guess this is beer brewed in Las Vegas. Model T. Had one of these, sent it to Opa, and now I got two. So that's nice. So I feel good about letting that one go. I was able to find a couple more. This one was interesting. This is kind of 90s-ish, early 2000s Matchbox, but it's a bus with a Humvee front. I thought that was kind of wild. It's got the little opening door thing. I don't know what I'll do with that or if I'll do anything with it, but it was just kind of fun. This is the delivery or ice cream truck with a clear windshield and the weird diecast front. It's the first version of it, and it's actually got a metal base, which is kind of cool. Let's see, this one, Nova car, Nissan 4Runner. Is it Nissan? Is it the 4Runner? Pathfinder, maybe. I don't know. Pathfinder sounds right. 4Runner sounds like Toyota. That is Toyota. All right. So that's a cool find. This one, I think I've got one with the doors. This one's sadly missing the doors, but it is still a made in England, one of like the last made in England era cars. It's got little nubs where the door used to be on that side, but got ideas for this old Citroen. Another Leslie. This is the Ford Corsair. Kind of a cool find. Another person that just wanted $1 for it, which I was like, okay. And it's all there. This is the Hot Wheels Blazer, the cool version without the plastic top. It's still metal era car. Jeep CJ6, I think this is. Yep, Jeep CJ6. It's unfortunately missing the plastic top, but that's, again, not a deal breaker with my kind of builds. And the price was right. I got a couple of the old Fields cars. I love the new Fields car that they've come out with. It's interesting because this is the one that would have obviously had the rubber wheels, and this is the one with the more super fast wheels. But other than that, they are completely identical, I believe. So, and this one still had the roof, which is nice. So, nice to check that one off my list. It's kind of an international scout looking thing. Days of Thunder car, still in the package. Which for 50 cents, I was like, sure. This one's cool. Matchbox, I forget what this tractor is called, but it's all there. And they wanted it for $1. Mod tractor. It's all there. Cobra motor, all the details, the steering wheel. It's in beautiful shape. I haven't seen one this nice outside of eBay. This is the, I want to say, yeah, Holden Ute pickup. It's missing the stuff in the back, but it's a great casting. One I enjoy seeing. Found these at 2 different places. Each one was less than $1. They're from Road Champs, and they're close enough to 1/64 scale. They're a little on the, they might be a little on the small side, but you know, mind over matter. Oh, I got this car too, just because I love this casting. And I've got, these would be great for like an abandoned field type thing. So let me know how I'm doing so far. Let me know in the comments which ones you've liked the most. But this one's another cool one. This one I found at a gentleman named, he goes by English Dave, I think. I think that's what he went by. I promised myself I'd look it up beforehand. But English Dave, yes. So English Dave has kind of a permanent, semi-permanent booth there, and I've been told about him, and I went down and you know, I'll show some of his stuff in the video. But his stuff was, he had a very well laid out booth. He definitely deals in the larger scales, but he and I need to talk because he said he has a large junkyard supply of play-worn matchboxes that he's looking to unload, and he'd probably give me a good price on them. So I'm hoping anyway. So we'll see. Matchbox 68 Citroen. It's a 1/65th scale according to the bottom, which is just fine with me. It's one of the most beautiful cars ever made, so I was happy to have one in my collection. Another yacht Ming, this time a little smushed XKE with the plastic base, but again, fun find, and the price was right. This is a nice one to get checked off the list. The Matchbox Custom 69 VW Squareback in a very nice shape. Got these guys. Not sure what I'm going to do with them, but they're in nice shape. Aside from this missing windshield, and I feel like this one's missing something. Not sure what. There's probably some kind of engine that goes in there. But this one, the wheels spin the rotors, and they're both there, and they're both still spinning. I thought that was very cool. So, and I think I've showed this one off before. It's the MG, the Rover MG. Just a fun casting. Another old, the Blue Shark matchbox. It's missing the interior and the wheels, but the motor is all there. So might be good spare parts for something else. I think I've got one of these that the motor is kind of tore up, so I might be able to put them all together and make one usable one. Matchbox BMW Z3, as northern neighbors like to say. Just a nice casting. Got another one of these for 50 cents because of that little bicycle in there. It's a great prop. Rover Sterling from Matchbox, metal. Nice car. Down to the good stuff. I got some trailers, and I got some little boats to go on the trailers. These are old, I believe, Matchbox. I think this one goes with this one. It might not. I got several trailers, and I can't remember what goes with what. Maybe that one. But that one's definitely Matchbox. We'll dump back. Sadly missing the wheels, but again, they were practically giving these guys away. These ones were not being given away. Well, this one was. One of my favorite castings, and in very nice shape. A Cadillac Seville, and a top one on my hit list, one that I never thought I'd find in the wild, and I got it for 50 cents, which is amazing. The Pontiac J2000. Probably one of the most Malays of the Malays Hot Wheels cars out there. Probably both of these. And got them both. This one was $2, that one was 50 cents. Alright, this was another really cool find from English Dave, the Studebaker Lark Wagonaire with the retractable roof, which is still intact and working. This car is in very nice shape, and he gave it to me for a very reasonable price. So, And another car that was on my hit list. I don't really go for too many of the old ones because their design is a little bit primitive for the style of builds I do. I like them, but they are what they are. But I really like this 4-door Chevy Impala Taxi, and it's in a very nice shape. So may not even do anything with it because it's in such nice shape, but it's got that taxi logo on the front, and I like that. I wanted to reproduce that for somebody. Look at this. Hey, a red line. Yeah, I found a few red lines in the wild, and he wanted, the guy knew what he had, so they weren't like super good deals, but they were nice enough that it was worth getting. And it says made in Hong Kong on the bottom, copyright 1974, so it's a real deal red line, and it's a casting that I like. And this little guy, ever since I saw Jim Silva build one of these, I absolutely had to see if I could find one, and I couldn't find one reasonably locally. But it's the old Jackrabbit Special, and it's missing the little back cover, unfortunately, which, again, not too big of a problem with my style of builds, but unfortunately I'm a little late for Redline Day, but this will be something I might save on to for another day. And before I get to the pre-packs, this is the last of the Lucy's, is this really cool little ice cream canteen. It's still got the little guy, he's intact, he's got his little cone, and glass is in beautiful shape. It was just too nice to pass up, and maybe I can reproduce the decals off of that guy, because it's pretty much all there. It'd be very easy to reproduce those. So that's it for the Lucy's. Oh, I also got this case for $2, which it's missing a sheet or a tray, but I've got extra trays. So for $2, can't say no to that. Let's see. I got these from a booth of a guy that said he knew another customizer, but unfortunately I wasn't familiar with the guy. But he took my info, and hopefully he's watching this video now. But I saw these, and I was not really familiar with these, and it's very cool. I always love VW Dune buggies, so it's nice to add those to the collection. Got this from Denny. He's got a place in St. Pete that apparently sells all sorts of stuff, and his prices were very reasonable, like cheaper than I could have bought these new in the store. So he gave me very fair prices on these premiums. So I'll display his info if you're ever in the St. Pete area. Please check him out. Got a nice 57 Chevy delivery, quick delivery, both in Star Trek theme. Got this cool 52 Chevy. I think this was originally an ice cream truck, but it's got this very cool mini moke kind of front to it. I forget what that's called, but with like a little awning, and the 65 Dodge Coronet altered wheelbase dragster. It's very cool. My neighbor Jean really likes those. Well, she likes the 65 Coronets. I don't know how she feels about the altered wheelbase. Very cool find here. The AJ Foyt 77 IndyCar and the pace car. The 77 Oldsmobile Delta 88 with its interesting targa top, which I'm pretty sure was unique to the pace cars. This one's a cool one. 31 Doozy. Wasn't that familiar with this one, but nice to add it to my collection of really old cars. This will be a great barn finder. And finally, Austin Healey Sprite from Johnny Lightning, one of their rare import cars, but it looks like it's got an opening hood on it. So a lot of great finds. Definitely going back to the flea market over in Webster again in the near future. Maybe not in the summer months because it was really, really hot, but there was a lot of great finds, a lot of really nice people, and got to meet some new connections in the Diecast community. So if you're joining in and you saw me there, really appreciate you coming along. So as always, I want to thank you for coming along with me for the ride, just like Drew did. So thanks again, Drew. And until next time, stay fresh, cheese bags.